guys, it's Jen. Welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing 5 tips on how you can save more money on makeup, and I hope these aren't super obvious. A few of them probably are, but hopefully you guys will learn a little something new today. So anyway, why don't we go ahead and get started. So my first tip is to wait for things to go on sale. Now this might sound really obvious, but it's not necessarily the easiest thing to do, especially when you see something new and interesting and you're having that FOMO, like you're the only person that doesn't have this item. But really it does make sense to wait. I think as more and more of us have a lot of makeup, we're buying less, and the brands are taking note of that and putting especially eyeshadow palettes on sale in a couple of months after they're released. A lot of times you'll see in the Sephora Weekly Wow, for example, some eyeshadow palettes that are pretty heavily discounted. Even right now, I think the Born to Run from Urban Decay is 40% off, so it's only like $29 at Ulta and Sephora and pretty much everywhere. So sometimes it just pays to wait for something. And also I've found that if you just take your time and you don't have that knee-jerk reaction and want to buy something immediately, chances are in a couple of days you kind of forget about it and you're not really thinking about it anymore, and you kind of feel like, I really didn't need that after all. So you end up changing your mind on it completely. But my rule of thumb is if I'm still thinking about it after a certain amount of time, like a few weeks or a few months, then maybe it is time to look into buying it because it's probably something that I actually really want. But it just kind of helps prevent you from making that impulse purchase because you're excited in the moment. And also some brands have sales regularly on their own website. So not on Sephora or Ulta, but just the actual brand website. For example, The Balm, they have a 50% off site-wide sale several times a year. It's usually like once a quarter or so, and I only shop at The Balm now during that sale. I never pay full price for anything there anymore because I can buy their blushes instead of $21, they're only $10.50, which is more like drugstore prices, or their palettes that are 40 something are down to 20 something. So it's a really good time to stock up on things that you've been wanting throughout the year. So when The Balm releases new products, as tempting as it is to buy it right then and there, I don't, because I know that they're going to be going on sale. Same thing goes for the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. There are products that regularly are part of that sale, like the Anastasia Brow Wiz, for example. It's almost always part of the 21 Days of Beauty, so I never pay full price for it. I always just wait until March or September when the sale is, and then I stock up on them at that time. And it's not the same every single time, but as you're watching the sale, you can kind of get an idea of which brands are in there almost every single time. Laura Geller is another one. I've never paid full price for her Baked Blush and Brighten because they're almost always part of the Ulta sale. And another great resource to check is Sephora and Ulta's sale pages. They're updated all the time, and a lot of times they have discontinued products or things that they're getting rid of, but you can get them on a major discount. And even with like Ulta, for example, they have the drugstore products. Those are frequently going on sale. I always see like Flower Beauty, buy one, get one half off, or you'll see things for a discount like 30% off an entire brand or 40% off all of these lipsticks. So it's really great to just check there every week or so as things are updated, and you can get some really good deals that way. So even though this is kind of an obvious tip, I feel like waiting for a sale is something that, in this day and age of instant gratification, we don't always do, but I think it's really important, especially if you're trying to save money. And then tip number 2 is to shop around for the best price. And I feel like this applies more to drugstore products than it does to high-end, because usually a high-end product, like a palette, for example, is the same price no matter where you go, at Sephora or Ulta or Nordstrom, Macy's. It's always the same across the board, usually, unless one of them is having a sale on it. But drugstore pricing can vary widely. So for example, I just looked up the CoverGirl Supersizer Mascara, and it is $7.99 at CVS, it's $7.79 at Walgreens, so they're very similar, but then it's only $6.49 at Target and $5.94 at Walmart. So Walmart actually has it $2 cheaper than CVS does, and that's just the regular price. Now CVS does have a really great loyalty program, which I'll talk about a little bit later on in the video, and they're always giving cash back on different purchases, so I kind of get the feeling that's why their prices are so much higher than everybody else's. Walmart doesn't really have a similar program like that, so their prices are just low all the time. But usually when it comes to CVS and getting extra bucks, they normally require you to make a purchase of a certain amount. Like it might be if you spend $15 on CoverGirl products, you can get $5 back in extra bucks. But if you only need the Supersizer mascara, then it kind of forces you to buy extra things that you don't need just to get the extra bucks. So for me, it just would make sense if you only need that one thing to just go and buy it where it's the cheapest, if that makes sense. My third tip is to follow some makeup deal sites. So on Instagram, you have Trend Mood Deals. Everybody's familiar with Trend Mood, but not everybody knows that she has a second handle, and it's Trend Mood Deals. And over there, she posts every single sale that's coming out, and she is so good about updating. So that's a really great resource for me. Also, probably my favorite Instagram deal account is Beauty Deals BFF. She has so much information on her site. She talks about freebies and coupon codes and sales, and she even does breakdowns of full-size items versus, the travel sizes and which one is a better value. So she is a great resource. If you guys used to follow blogs back in the day and you followed Nouveau Cheap, she kind of reminds me of her because I always got the best deal information from Nouveau Cheap, and I really, really miss that blog. But Beauty Deals BFF has definitely stepped in and taken the place of that, so I'm really excited that she's around. Another great resource is over on Reddit. They have a Reddit board called MUA on the Cheap, and that's just a bunch of different people like you and I posting anytime they find a deal, anytime they get a good deal in store. Sometimes they're just posting things that are available online, but it's a great resource. It's constantly updated. There's a bunch of members, so that's another really great option as well if you're looking for sale info. And then my fourth tip is about discounts, and that would include coupon codes and loyalty programs in stores. So first up, let's talk about coupon codes. So those are everywhere right now. A lot of influencers have coupon codes. So if you have a favorite person that you'd love to support, you can check and see if they have a code for the store that you're looking for. But if they don't, you can always just Google, like for example, ColourPop coupon codes, and then see what comes up, because there's a lot of different coupon code sites that will give you the code. And I do this pretty much every single time I'm gonna buy something. I usually check with my favorite YouTubers or Instagrammers to see if they have a code that I can use. If they don't, then I'll just go right to the Google and see if anything pops up before I go ahead and make a purchase. So that's one option. Also, if there are brands that I'm particularly interested in, I will sign up for emails. I know it's like a pain in the neck to get spam email all the time, but that's usually the first place I find out about sales that are coming in, is when I check my email in the morning and ColourPop is sending me something saying 30% off site-wide. I mean, it makes sense if it's a brand that you really love and you want to be notified immediately that they're having a sale, just to sign up for their email alerts on their website. And actually, most brands, if you sign up, they'll give you like a 20% off coupon or 15% or something just for signing up with your email. I know Pure Cosmetics does this. Also, Colleen Rothschild Skincare, she usually has a 20% off discount just for signing up with your email. So it's definitely worth it. And then you get notified of sales all the time. And then another kind of sneaky trick that I learned along the way to get a discount from a brand is to go to their website and just fill up your cart with all the things that you want to buy and then leave. And usually, not always, but more often than not, you'll get an email a few hours to maybe a day or two later that says, hey, you left some things in your cart. Here's 15% off to come and buy it, or 20% off. I actually got one from Milani recently. Had a bunch of things in my cart. I got distracted and I left, and then later that night or the next day, I had an email from them and they said, here's 20% off if you want to come back and buy these things. So that's another thing to consider. The only thing that kind of weirds me out about it is that I never give them my email, but somehow they know where to send it to. Even though I just randomly went to their site and put some things in my cart, I didn't fill anything out, but somehow they still find your email address. There's software that can do that now. So yeah, I don't quite know how I feel about that, but anyway, there are also coupon sites that you can join so you can get money back on products that you already purchased. Ebates is one that I use pretty regularly. You just have to make sure you go to their site first and then click through to the retailer so that you can get the kickback. But they have so many stores on there, like Sephora, for example. And then for everything that you buy at Sephora, they'll give you a percentage back. And Ebates is also a great resource for coupon codes as well, especially Sephora ones. If you go on Ebates and you click on Sephora, they have a whole list of coupon codes that are active, and usually it's way more than the ones that are actually on the Sephora site. So those are the coupon codes where you get freebies, like with a $25 purchase, you can get a free like travel size or something. I always check Ebates before I make a Sephora order. One, to make sure that I'm going through them so that I can get my cash back, and two, so I can find a coupon code that's on their site. And then another great option that I forgot to mention when I was talking about sales is Shop Tagger. Shop Tagger is another thing that I've heard about through different YouTubers that I watch. A lot of them do sponsored videos with Shop Tagger. This is not sponsored at all, by the way, but it's just something that I found out about through other sponsored videos. And basically Shop Tagger is kind of like a little app that you can install on your computer, and as you're shopping you can add things to your Shop Tagger and you can tell them to let you know when the product goes on sale, and then they'll watch that product for you. So for example, you can go to Sephora's website and you can say, I want to know when the Natasha Denona gold palette is going to go on sale. So then you just click the little icon at the top of your screen and it puts it right into your account, and then they'll go ahead and monitor it for you. It's for free, and let you know if there's any kind of price change on it, which is really super helpful. And also when it comes to discounts, those free loyalty programs at stores are a big one. As I mentioned before, CVS has a really great loyalty program. A lot of people are familiar just with their regular store loyalty card, but they also have a beauty club. So if you sign up for the beauty club, which I think you have to do separately, but it's still free and it's part of the same card that you have for the store, they'll give you $3 in extra bucks for every 30 you spend on beauty products. And it pretty much spans all of like beauty and personal care. So it doesn't just have to be makeup. I think it can be skincare, hair care, body care, things like that. So if you find yourself shopping at CVS a lot, that's a great one to sign up for as well. Just remember to keep in mind that their prices are higher than other stores. So I don't really use it all that frequently anymore, because unless I'm going to be buying a lot of things there, they don't add up very quickly. I used to shop there a lot more and I was constantly getting those rewards back. They also do different promos, like I mentioned before, where if you spend a certain amount on a certain brand, sometimes you can get a kickback. So when you go to CVS, if you scan your little tag at one of their red kiosks there, it'll print out a bunch of coupons that you can use, which is always a good thing as well. And it's just really kind of with that one, you have to stay on top of what's on sale in order to make the most of it. But the CVS's near me really don't always stock a lot of new products, so I don't find myself going there as much to shop. Lately, I've been finding myself going more to Target and Walmart. They have bigger selections of stuff, they get newer stuff in quicker, and the prices are just lower in general without having to worry about the loyalty program. But like I said, if you are a frequent CVS shopper, they do have a really good program. And I think when it comes to loyalty programs, Ulta's is by far the best. You get 1 point for every dollar that you spend. If you're platinum, you get 1.25 points for every dollar you spend. And if you're diamond, you get 1.5 points for every dollar that you spend. And they really do add up, especially if you're shopping at Ulta pretty frequently. And then my fifth and final way to save money on makeup is to find dupes. And it could be either in your own collection or dupes that are available out on the market. And I think, you know, when you're looking in your own collection, it's really important, because so many times I've seen a new palette, and again, it's that like knee-jerk impulse buy, and I get it home and I'm like, this actually looks just like this other palette that I have already. And then I kind of feel stupid for buying it. So a lot of times I think if you have your eye on something, it might be good to comb through your collection and see what you have that might be really similar. And chances are you may have something, or even like two different palettes, that if you combine them, it could create the same one. So I think that finding dupes within your own collection can sometimes help you to rein in your spending a little bit and realize that you don't necessarily need something. And if you don't have a dupe in your collection, there may be one out there, so it's definitely worth searching for. Again, you could always Google like Natasha Denona gold palette dupe or something and see what comes up. So many YouTubers have done dupe videos. There are also brands out there that are duping high-end palettes like C Color Cosmetics and Alter Ego, which I've talked about many times. And sometimes it's helpful to buy a dupe first for 10 to 15 bucks and then use the palette, see if you really love it. If it's something that you use on a regular basis and you think you would get a ton of use out of the original, then it might make sense to buy the original one. But at least with the dupe, you're not laying out a ton of money, especially if it's something that's more trendy or something that you feel like you might not use or you're not sure. And Pinterest is another great resource as well. If you're looking for like blush dupes and lipstick dupes, there's always lots of different swatches on there that you can find. So I definitely recommend checking that out. So it's definitely worth it to spend some time and research dupes of a product that you might be interested in. All right guys, so those are my 5 tips for saving money on makeup. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button. And also I would love to hear your money saving tips down in the comments below. What are your best money saving tips on makeup? I always love chatting with you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button before you leave, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!